Friends and family say goodbye to 20-year-old Tanner Pehl.
Mourners packed the Mount Spokane Church this afternoon. Deputies found Pehl along with 18-year-old Sarah Clark last week in a burning home. They were both stabbed.
And KXLY4's Karina Shagren was at the funeral today, and what was it like inside?
A lot of people there. In fact, more than 400 people packed the church today. Some traveled thousands of miles to get there. Today was really about remembering the good times. It was remembering Tanner when things were happy and his life was just happy-go-lucky, and trying to forget the brutal way in which he was killed. It was the first song Tanner Pehl learned to play on the guitar.
Just like you said it would be.
And the first song his brother played today as hundreds paid their final respects.
I'm very thankful. I'm thankful that I had him for 20 years.
For 20 years. My goodness, that guy lived a 60-year-old life. I tell you, he did it all. And he did it all with vigor.
He was a traveler, a cook, he was free-spirited, and a growing musician. And though he led a busy life, his family says he always took the time to think of them.
He'd leave me a note every morning. You know, Dave and Trina, here's what I'm doing. I don't know if he slept in or whatever. I thought he only left us notes. And then I came down here to Spokane these last 3 or 4 days and got to know all his friends and, you know, family, and we're talking. Tanner left everybody notes.
His friends and family today returned the favor. Dozens of notes were placed in Tanner's casket, though no one wanted to say goodbye.
I had a thought that if I could just keep talking for hours, and then days, and then weeks, and then years, we would never have to close that casket.
Tanner had spent months preparing to play for a crowd. In fact, he recently joined a band. And though he commanded an audience, no one guessed this would be his first time, and sadly his last time, on center stage.
And I know that Tanner is in a good place right now. That his life, though it was taken here, his body's here with us, but his spirit is somewhere else, and it's a good spot.
And this, of course, was an incredibly emotional service, not only for the hundreds of people in the crowd, but for myself and the other reporters in attendance. And we didn't even know Tanner, but certainly learned more about him today. He's actually going to be buried over in Western Washington. He'll be buried on Friday.
A lot of people learning about him and seeing how important he was. Now, the second victim of the Elm Street murders, Sarah Clark, she'll be laid to rest on Thursday. A memorial will be held at First Church of the Open Bible. That's in the 8300 block of North Division. The service begins at 2 o'clock. Sarah's family says her radiant smile and huge dimples lit up every room she entered, and our hearts as well.